There is no way you can analyze what a society or community needs in the way of survival and development if you do not incorporate the different ways that women and men work and organize their lives. Thank you. Gender perspectives have made inroads in disaster risk reduction, in development practice, and in the climate change community. But much more needs to be done. Progress on gender issues in disaster risk reduction, as in so many other fields, has been slow, inconsistent, and dependent on dedicated, passionate individuals. Ultimately, we need to go institutional. Gender focal points, despite their expertise, commitment, and growing numbers and networks, are often marginalized within their institutions. To be blunt, the focal point approach is not achieving what it should be, which is to mainstream gender perspectives into institutions as a whole. In fact, emphasis on setting up gender focal points has resulted in my relatively young sector in the opposite of mainstreaming. Appointing sole gender desks and focal points lets organizations or governments as a whole off the hook. And often, the focal point chosen has limited authority or influence. They can also become isolated by their own expertise in women-centered work. Perceptions that their area is just women's issues can marginalize them when institutions still have not understood that women's issues are ultimately everybody's issues. How can we change this trend of isolating and ghettoizing gender issues? We know that to make effective change on the ground, we cannot just concentrate on one group, but this cuts both ways. Using a comprehensive gender perspective is, I believe, the best way forward, as opposed to both a default gender-blind, male-focused approach or the earlier popular women-centered approach amongst development and humanitarian agencies. Gender perspective leaders in disaster risk reduction have made a distinct shift beyond a purely women-centered approach towards a comprehensive societal gender analysis. This, of course, has a primary emphasis on the overlooked experiences of women, but also provides a more thorough perspective that can be mainstreamed into overall programs and practices due to its emphasis on the different gendered realities and experiences of the whole community, women and men, girls and boys. To succeed, we also need large-scale and systematic capacity building so that all technical experts also become gender experts, who really understand that success of their programs relies on whether they understand how women and men will implement change. We need to find or convert more male champions of gender perspectives and women's empowerment. We need to learn each other's languages better or simply use plainer language. Too often, gender experts and climate change or disaster risk experts talk past each other without connecting, with vocabularies of hard science on one hand and social science or social theory on the other. As national and organizational leaders, we must even stop turning up to forums and making recommendations to others, and instead start walking the talk in our own organizations. We must put our houses in order so that everyone from top to bottom can view their work from a critical gender perspective. Our goal needs concluding. I ask for you to show leadership in this joint cause, and I offer my own commitment to stand beside you. Thank you.